I stared at my phone until the screen dimmed. Nothing. No message. No invite. Just endless photos of white lace and champagne smiles. Did you see it? Nora's voice came from behind me. I didn't turn. Yeah. Their wedding? I nodded. Lena's wedding. My best friend's wedding. And Ethan, I swallowed. My ex-fiancé. Nora stepped closer, resting her mug beside mine. You okay? I laughed hollow. Do I look okay? No, she said softly. You look like you're about to break something. Maybe I should. I scrolled again. Look at them, Nora. She's wearing my dream dress. And he's holding her like I never existed. I zoomed in on a photo, my hand trembling. They didn't even tell me. Not a word. Just blocked me, deleted me, and married each other. Nora hesitated. You sure it's official? Maybe. It's official. Look. I shoved the screen toward her. The caption burned. Forever starts here, Marlena and Ethan. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Only the hum of the fridge filled the silence. I was supposed to be her maid of honor, I whispered. We used to plan each other's weddings. We promised, Nora sighed. People change. No, I said, shaking my head. People reveal themselves. I tossed my phone onto the counter. It hit harder than I meant it to. Nora flinched. Hey, don't do that to yourself. I trusted her. I told her everything, my fears, my plans with Ethan, even the fights we had. And she used all that against you, Nora said quietly. Yeah, I muttered. Guess she took notes. She touched my arm. You don't need to see any more of this. I can't stop, I said. It's like watching my own funeral. Nora pulled the phone away. Then let it die. I turned to her. How do I let go of something that used to be my whole life? She shrugged. Start with blocking them back. I almost smiled. That's too easy. Then what? I don't know, I whispered. Maybe disappear. Let them wonder what happened to me. We sat in silence. My thoughts swirled like smoke. Memories, laughter, promises. Lena's voice echoed in my head. You're my sister, Maya. I'd never hurt you. The memory stung. She said that, I murmured. Who? Lena, the night before Ethan proposed. She looked me in the eye and swore she'd never betray me. Nora frowned. You think this was planned? Maybe not at first. But she always wanted what I had. She used to joke that Ethan was too perfect for me. Some joke. Yeah, I said bitterly. Some joke that ended with her wearing my ring. Nora sat beside me. You deserve better, Maya. I stared at the floor. Better doesn't exist right now. There's just empty. For a while, we didn't talk. The sound of rain began tapping against the window. I whispered, I thought love meant being chosen. Turns out it means being replaced. Nora leaned forward. You're not the one who should be ashamed. Tell that to everyone watching their perfect story. Let them watch, she said firmly. People forget. Karma doesn't. That word lingered. Karma. I picked up my mug, cold now, and forced a laugh. You sound like my landlord, Mrs. Voss. She says bad hearts eventually trip over their own lies. Smart woman, Nora said. I looked back at my phone. Another post had gone up. Lena tossing her bouquet, Ethan kissing her hand. I muttered, she stole everything and still got applause. Nora crossed her arms. Then stop clapping for her. I blinked. What? Stop giving her power. Every scroll, every glance, you're feeding her spotlight. I swallowed hard. So I just move on? Or, Nora said slowly, you move up. Live so loudly that their silence starts to sting. Her words hit deeper than I expected. I whispered, live louder, huh? Exactly. I nodded, though my chest still felt cracked open. Maybe, but right now I just want to disappear. That's okay, she said. Disappear for now. Reappear stronger, her voice softened. Do you want to stay over tonight? I shook my head. No, I need to be alone. I need to feel this. All of it, Nora hesitated. Call me if you can't sleep. I never sleep, I said. Then at least promise you won't text Ethan. I gave a humorless smile. I deleted his number. Good. I memorized it, I added quietly. She groaned. Maya. I won't, I promised. I won't reach out, I just wish I understood why. Nora stood wrapping her scarf. You'll never get the truth from them. Only silence. I looked at her, my throat tightening. Silence hurts more than lies. Then fill it with something better, she said. Music, laughter, anything. When she left, the apartment felt heavier. I sat alone, staring at the dark window. My reflection looked like a stranger. My phone buzzed again. Another picture of them, cutting cake this time. My chest burned, but no tears came. I whispered to my reflection, "They banned me from their happiness." My voice cracked. Maybe I should do the same. The rain outside grew louder, drowning out everything else. "Did you see what they posted now?" Nora asked as I walked into the office kitchen. I kept my eyes on the coffee machine. No, and I don't want to. They're calling it their fairy tale beginning. My chest tightened. Fairy tales have villains. Guess I finally know which one I am. 2 interns walked in, went silent when they saw me, then turned away. Nora whispered, "Ignore them." "I can't ignore the stares," I said. "They whisper every time I pass. They'll get over it." I shook my head. No, they won't. People love a scandal too much to let it die. I stirred my coffee, trying to drown my reflection in the cup. "They think I'm unstable," I muttered. Nora frowned. "Who said that?" "Everyone. Someone told HR I threw things at Ethan when we broke up." "What?" "You didn't, I know," I said bitterly. "But truth doesn't trend." I left the kitchen and whispers followed me down the hall. Every step felt heavier. By lunchtime, even my phone turned against me. Notifications, comments, messages from old friends saying, "Maybe you should move on, as if betrayal was a stain you could just scrub away. That night, I sat on the floor of my apartment, scrolling through their honeymoon photos. Sunsets, laughter, captions about destiny. Nora called. "You're still looking, aren't you?" "I can't stop," I whispered. "It's like watching the life that was supposed to be mine." "Block them, Maya." I did. But people keep sending me screenshots. "Then stop reading them." I laughed weakly. "I wish grief worked that way." She was quiet for a moment. "Come stay with me for a few days." "I need air, not company." "Maya." "I mean it," I said. "Everyone's talking. I can't breathe here." After the call, I just sat there, surrounded by boxes of memories I hadn't thrown out yet. The mug Ethan bought me. The dress Lena said made me look too sweet. The photos of us smiling. I shoved them all into a bag. A knock came at the door. "Rent's due, sweetheart," Mrs. Voss called softly. I opened it, eyes red. "Sorry, I forgot. I'll drop it off tomorrow." She studied my face. "You look tired." "I haven't been sleeping." "Broken hearts never let people sleep," she said gently. I tried to smile. "Guess mine's an insomniac." She handed me an envelope. "Mail for you." "Looks old." After she left, I sat on the couch staring at the envelope. Ethan's handwriting. I'd seen it 1,000 times on notes, on cards, on everything that used to mean something. I almost tore it apart, but stopped. Nora texted, "Please don't do anything stupid." I replied, "Too late." I already cared. I took a deep breath and opened the letter. The paper smelled faintly of cologne and regret. "Maya, if you're reading this, you've probably already found out everything. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you should know, it wasn't supposed to be her. It just happened. I didn't plan any of this." I read the line again. "It wasn't supposed to be her." What does that even mean? I whispered. "You tripped and fell into her arms?" The words blurred as my eyes filled. I crumpled the letter, then flattened it again, as if the truth would rearrange itself into something kinder. The phone rang. "Nora again." I answered. "He wrote me." "What?" "A letter. Before the wedding, maybe. Said it wasn't supposed to be her." "Then who was it supposed to be?" "Me," I said quietly. "It was supposed to be me." Nora exhaled. "You can't stay there anymore." "I know. Come to my place. Or go anywhere far from them." "Far sounds nice," I murmured. After the call, I started packing. Every drawer felt like a wound reopening. I threw clothes into a suitcase, tossed pictures into the trash. Then I stopped at one frame, Lena and me laughing on her balcony. I stared at it. "You planned this, didn't you?" My voice cracked. "You waited until I trusted you enough to destroy me." The city outside buzzed like nothing happened. I zipped my suitcase, turned off the lights, and sat in the dark. Mrs. Voss's voice echoed in my head. Broken hearts never let people sleep. She was right. But maybe if I left, mine would at least stop screaming. I texted Nora, "I'm leaving town tomorrow." Her reply came fast. "Good. Start over." I looked at Ethan's letter one last time before tearing it in half. It wasn't supposed to be her, I repeated softly. But it was, and that's all that matters. The night swallowed my words. For the first time, silence didn't scare me. It answered back. The air in this town smells like salt and burnt coffee. Every morning, I open the cafe at 6, pretending I'm someone new. "Morning, Maya," my boss Clara calls from the kitchen. "Morning. You look tired again." "I'm fine," I lie. Fine. That word's become my new disguise. The bell above the door jingles. A man walks in, same time as always. Messy hair, dark hoodie, quiet eyes. He nods once and takes the corner table. Clara whispers, "Your regular's here." "He's everyone's regular," I say. "No," she smirks. "He only talks to you." I grab his usual, black coffee, no sugar. When I set it down, he looks up. "You remember." Hard to forget someone who orders the same thing every day. He half smiles. "You don't talk much, do you?" "Talking gets people in trouble," I say. "Or gets them out of it," he replies. I wipe the counter, pretending not to care. But his voice lingers. Calm, steady, too gentle for this world. He says, "You're new here." Is it that obvious? "You still check your phone every few minutes." I freeze. "You've been watching me?" He shrugs. "I notice things." "Then notice this," I say. "I'm not looking for conversation." He nods. "Neither am I, just coffee." Still, he stays longer than most customers. Sometimes reading, sometimes just staring out the window. That night, I sit in my rented apartment. One room, peeling wallpaper, sea wind leaking through the cracks. I open my journal and write. I thought running away would silence the ghosts. But they followed me here. The next morning, he's back. "Still not talking?" he asks. "Still not listening," I reply. He chuckles. "You have a sharp tongue." "You have bad timing." "Maybe. Or maybe I just like quiet people." I glance at him. Quiet people usually have the loudest minds. He meets my eyes. "Yeah, mine won't shut up. We don't talk again until closing time." He stays as the last customer, nursing cold coffee. "You're not from here either," I say finally. "No. Why'd you come?" "Needed a place where no one knows my story." I nod. "Sounds familiar." When he leaves, he says, "I'm Adrian." "Maya," I answer. "I know," he says softly. "Your name's on your tag." That night, I dream of Lena. She's laughing, wearing white again, and Ethan's hand is on her waist. I wake up choking on her name. The ocean hums outside my window like it knows everything I've lost. The next day, Adrian's already sitting by the window when I arrive. "You open early now?" he asks. "Couldn't sleep." Me neither. We share a silence that feels almost peaceful. He taps the table. "You look like someone who used to have big plans." "I used to," I admit. "Now I just make coffee and count tips." He studies me. "What stopped you?" I laugh under my breath. "Love. Or something that pretended to be it." He doesn't pry. "Then maybe it wasn't love." "Maybe," I whisper. Hours pass. The cafe fills, empties, fills again. But I notice he doesn't leave. When the rush ends, I sit across from him. "You ever lost everything?" He stirs his coffee. "Yes. How'd you get it back?" "I didn't," he says. "I just learned to live without it." That sounds lonely. It is. But so is pretending you're fine. I look at him differently after that. There's a weight in his eyes, the kind that matches mine. Days turn into weeks. He keeps coming, same seat, same order. Sometimes we talk, sometimes we don't. Sometimes his silence feels warmer than words. One afternoon he asks, "You ever write?" I blink. "How did you—" "You carry a pen behind your ear," he says. "Writers always do." I smile faintly. "I used to. Now I just scribble." "About what?" "Ghosts? Personal?" "Very," he nods slowly. "Then keep writing." Ghosts hate being seen on paper. That night I open my journal again. Met someone today. He talks like pain is normal. Maybe it is. But for the first time, I didn't feel alone in it. The next morning, I'm wiping tables when Adrian walks in. Morning, I say before he speaks. He grins. You remembered me. I remember everyone who tips well. Then I'll make sure you never forget me. He leaves extra bills on the counter, and I roll my eyes. Show off, he laughs, heading out into the fog. Clara nudges me. You like him. I barely know him. Sometimes that's enough. Not for me, I say. I knew someone once. Thought I knew everything. Turns out I didn't know anything at all. That night, I write again. I'm starting to breathe without checking who's watching. The silence doesn't feel empty anymore. But as I close the notebook, my phone buzzes. A memory notification. Ethan's old photo, smiling beside Lena. My chest tightens. I delete it fast. I've moved on. I whisper into the dark. But my heart didn't get the memo. Outside, waves crash against the shore. Steady, unbothered, endless. Somewhere between the sound of them and the hum of my fridge, I realize maybe peace isn't forgetting. Maybe it's surviving long enough to start again. The cafe was empty when it happened. Just me, the sound of the coffee machine, and the glow of my phone. A new email blinked on the screen. Subject, you should know what they did to you. I almost deleted it, but curiosity kills even the half-healed. I clicked. The attachments opened. Screenshots, messages, dates. Lena, she won't notice if we keep it quiet. Ethan, I'll tell her soon. I just need her to think it's mutual. My breath caught. No. The words blurred. They started before the proposal. Before the lies, before the fight that ended everything, I pressed my palms to my temples. It was all fake. Everything okay? Adrian's voice came from the door. I jumped. What are you doing here? Forgot my wallet, he said, stepping inside. You look pale. I'm fine. He frowned. You always say that when you're breaking. I tried to smile, but my throat burned. You ever read something that makes your stomach disappear? Plenty. Then congratulations, I said. You know how it feels to be me right now. He walked closer. What happened? I turned the screen toward him. This, he skimmed the messages. His jaw tightened. They were already together? Since before the engagement, I whispered. They were planning it, laughing about me, like I was some inconvenience. He looked at me. You don't have to read more. I can't stop. Why? Because I need to know how deep it goes. He gently took the phone from my hand. You already know enough to hurt. Exactly, I said. And now I want them to hurt too. His voice softened. Revenge won't give you peace. Peace? I laughed bitterly. Peace left with my dignity. Then rebuild it, he said. Not burn it, I turned away, trembling. You think it's easy? Seeing them happy, knowing they planned my heartbreak like a party? No, he said quietly. I think it's impossible. But so is living with poison in your veins. The cafe lights flickered. I rubbed my eyes, trying to hide the tears. He whispered, Let it out, Maya. I can't, I said. If I start, I'll never stop. He stepped closer, his voice barely above the hum of the refrigerator. You're allowed to break. Breaking doesn't fix anything. It clears space for what might. For a moment, silence filled the room. Then I said, You don't get it. They took everything I was. My best friend, my future, my home. And now I find out they were laughing about it before it even ended. I do get it, he said. More than you think, I turned sharply. You? You don't even talk about your past. Because it's buried, he said. And every time I dig it up, it smells like smoke. I stared at him. You lost someone too, he nodded once. She left. Said I was too quiet. A week later, she married my best friend. The words hit me like a mirror cracking. So that's why you sit in that corner every day. That's why you hide behind smiles, he replied. I laughed bitterly. We're both ghosts then, he said. Difference is, I stopped haunting people. His calmness made me angrier. So you just forgave them? No, he said. I outlived them. What does that even mean? I stopped letting their story write mine. I looked down at my shaking hands. I can't do that. Not yet. Then start small, he said. Stop checking their pages. I deleted everything months ago. But you still talk about them like they're in the room. That silence hurt worse than the truth. He was right. I still lived inside their betrayal. I whispered, Was I ever enough for anyone? He didn't answer immediately. Then softly, "You were too much for the wrong people." The words cracked something open. I started crying, ugly, shaking, messy, the kind of crying that comes from the bones. He didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there, steady, while I fell apart. When the sobs slowed, I wiped my face. I hate crying in front of people. Then pretend I'm not here. I tried that. You keep showing up. He smiled faintly. Maybe you need someone who does. I sank into a chair. I thought I was healing. You were, he said. Healing isn't straight. It circles back when you least expect. Then I'm stuck in the loop. Maybe, but loops end when you stop running in them. I stared at the phone on the counter. I want to delete it all. Then do it. But part of me wants to keep it. Proof of what they did. He nodded. Proof of their cruelty or your pain? I hesitated. Both. Then you'll keep bleeding, he said softly. He was right again. I hated that he was right. I whispered, You don't need revenge to be free. That's what you said, right? He nodded. Well, I said, standing up, maybe I'm not ready to be free. He looked at me with quiet sadness. Then at least don't chain yourself deeper. The clock ticked between us. The cafe smelled like burnt sugar. My eyes burned worse. As he left, he said, You know, ghosts fade when you stop feeding them. I looked around the empty room, my reflection faint in the glass. Then I must be starving mine, I whispered. But even after he was gone, the words from that email kept replaying in my head. She won't notice if we keep it quiet. And I realized maybe ghosts don't fade. Maybe they just wait for silence to talk louder. I told myself it wasn't revenge, just closure. But as the bus rolled past the Welcome to Brookvale sign, I could feel the heat of every old wound burning again. The air smelled the same. Fake smiles, fresh gossip. Nora's voice echoed in my head. You sure you want to do this? And I'd said, I just want to see how lies age. The cafe back in the city felt like another life. Here, every street whispered my name like a warning. The engagement party was at the country club. Marble floors, golden lights, and people pretending to be pure. When I walked in, the music stumbled. Conversations faltered. Someone whispered, Is that Maya? Another voice. I thought she moved away. I smiled, slow and deliberate. Guess rumors can't kill everything. Marcus spotted me first. His eyes widened, guilt flashing before the grin. Maya, wow, you look alive. Better than the alternative, I said. Still hosting gossip parties? He winced. I deserved that. Yeah, I said lightly. You stayed silent while they buried me. I didn't know what to do. You could have said something. I was a coward. At least you know it, he exhaled. You shouldn't have come. Why not? They're here. Perfect, I said. I came to congratulate them personally. His eyes flicked toward the corner. Lena and Ethan just walked in. I turned. There she was, Lena in silver, glowing like guilt had never touched her. Ethan at her side, eyes darting like he expected ghosts. When she saw me, her smile froze. Maya, I walked closer. You sound surprised. I didn't know you were invited. I wasn't, I said. But you know me. I never wait for permission. Her laugh was sharp, brittle. You look well. Better than I should, I said. You! She touched her necklace, fingers trembling. Married life suits me. I can tell, I said. You've always been good at pretending. Ethan shifted beside her. Maya, this isn't your business. I said, That's new. He looked away. I didn't come here to fight. Neither did I said softly. I came to remember. Lena's eyes flickered. You still angry? I stopped being angry, I said. Now I'm just curious. Curious? How people sleep at night after what they've done. Her smile faltered. Maya, I never wanted to hurt you. But you did. It just happened. I laughed quietly. That's what people say when they plan their sins carefully. Ethan rubbed the back of his neck. This isn't fair. No, I said, it's not. But it's honest. The crowd started whispering again. I could feel their eyes crawling up my back. I leaned in closer to Lena. You rewrote the story, didn't you? I said. Made me the jealous ex, the unstable friend. It worked for a while. Her voice shook. People needed to hear something. So you gave them a lie, I said. Typical. Marcus came between us. All right, maybe we can calm down. Don't, I said sharply. Let her talk, Lena's voice cracked. What do you want from me? Nothing, I said. You already gave me everything I needed. Truth. Ethan's jaw tightened. You think showing up here makes you stronger? No, I said. It makes me finished. I turned to walk away, but his words followed me. You'll never move on if you keep coming back to us. I stopped. You're right, I said. But tonight isn't about moving on. It's about reminding you what you lost. He flinched. And what's that? The one person who actually loved you. For a heartbeat, the whole room froze. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I just let silence do the damage. Marcus touched my arm. You proved your point. Let's go. Not yet, I said. Lena whispered. You think you're the victim? I smiled. No, victims wait for rescue. I build my own exits. She stepped closer, voice low. You don't scare me. You should, I said. Because I'm the one thing you can't rewrite. Memory. Her face went pale. Marcus whispered. Maya, enough. I took a breath, forcing calm into my voice. Don't worry, I'm done. I walked toward the exit. Behind me, whispers burst like fireworks. Marcus followed. That was brutal. I said nothing untrue. You didn't have to come here to prove anything. I didn't, I said. I came to see if guilt ages well. And? It doesn't. He laughed softly. You've changed. I had to, I said. The old me would have begged for closure. This one writes her own. Outside, the night air was colder than I remembered. The music from the club echoed faintly through the glass doors. Marcus stood beside me. So what now? Now, I said, I let the truth do what it always does. Rot quietly. He frowned. That's dark. It's honest. We started walking toward the parking lot. I could still feel their eyes on my back, their perfect facade cracking behind me. Marcus said, You really aren't coming back, are you? No, I said. I already burned this place once. I just came to watch the ashes settle. He stopped me. You know they'll twist this too, right? Let them, I said. Truth doesn't need defending. He nodded slowly. You're not the same girl I remember. I buried her, I said. The world didn't leave room for both of us. The wind picked up, carrying laughter from inside. Lena's, forced and hollow. Marcus asked quietly, Do you feel better? I thought for a moment. No, but I feel real again. As I opened my car door, he said, You still believe in karma? I smiled faintly. After tonight? I don't have to. It's already started. I drove away without looking back. The city lights blurred in my mirror, but I didn't blink. I didn't need to see the fire I'd left behind. I could feel it, and for the first time, the flames didn't burn me. The night smelled like champagne and guilt. Marcus met me at the door of the ballroom. You sure about this? Completely. He eyed the small USB drive in my hand. You're playing with fire. I already burned once, I said. This time, I'm the match. The chandelier lights scattered across polished glass and smiling faces. Laughter, fake compliments, the sound of people who didn't know the truth yet. Marcus leaned closer. They're here. I know, I said. My voice didn't shake. It almost scared me how calm I felt. Lena stood across the room in a crimson dress, glittering like she owned the air. Ethan hovered beside her, one hand at her waist, his smile stretched too thin. Their laughter hit my chest like shards of glass. Marcus whispered, You could still walk away. I did once, I said. They just didn't notice. I slipped toward the DJ booth, pretending to fix my hair. My pulse echoed in my throat as I plugged the drive into the laptop. The DJ looked up. You part of the slideshow team? Something like that, I said. He nodded and turned back to the crowd. I hit play. At first, the screen flickered. A few heads turned. Then the laughter started, not from the guests, but from the speakers. My own name dropped from Ethan's mouth, twisted and cruel. She really believed me when I said I wasn't ready, he said on screen, voice casual, drunk. Lena laughed. Maya's too soft. She trusts anyone who says they love her. A ripple of confusion spread through the room. The music stopped. Someone whispered, Is that them? I stood still, my glass in hand, face blank. On screen, Ethan smirked. She kept journals, you know? Wrote about how grateful she was to have me. I read them, pathetic. Lena's laughter echoed again. You did? Oh, Ethan. That's evil. She deserved it. Gasps filled the room. Lena's face went white. Turn it off, she shouted. The DJ looked panicked. I didn't. Ethan rushed to the laptop. Who did this? I raised my glass. Hi. All eyes turned to me. Lena's lips trembled. You? I shrugged. Accidents happen, Ethan's voice cracked. Maya, you can't just... I can, I said quietly. And I did. On the screen, they were still talking. Still laughing. If she finds out, I'll say she was unstable again, Lena said in the video. People will believe it. They always do. The silence afterward was suffocating. I could hear the blood rushing in my ears. Lena screamed, "Stop it!" No one moved. No one dared, Marcus whispered behind me. They're done. I didn't reply. My eyes stayed on the screen. Ethan yanked the plug, cutting the video. The lights flickered back on, revealing faces frozen in disbelief. Lena pointed at me. You think this makes you better? You humiliated us. No, I said softly. You did that yourselves. I just pressed play. She stepped forward. You're cruel. I learned from the best, I said. Ethan grabbed her wrist. Lena, stop. Don't tell me what to do, she shouted. Then to me, you wanted everyone to hate me? No, I said. I wanted everyone to see you. A woman near the front gasped. You lied to us, Lena. You said she was dangerous. Lena turned toward her. I just... Ethan muttered. Don't, Lena. Don't what? She snapped. Tell the truth? I almost smiled. The poison was finally eating its way out. Marcus leaned close. You're shaking. I know, I whispered. But I won't fall, Lena's voice broke. Why couldn't you just stay gone? Because ghosts don't disappear, I said. They haunt the guilty. Ethan rubbed his temples. Maya, please. We made mistakes, okay? We were drunk. We were stupid. Then maybe you should have stayed sober before destroying someone's life, I said. The crowd murmured. Every word cut deeper into their perfect image. A man from the back said, So it's true then? You two cheated? Lena's face crumbled. Ethan didn't answer. That silence was louder than the video had been. I took a step closer. You lied, you laughed, and you called it love. Now everyone knows what that really looked like. Lena's mascara streaked down her cheeks. You're proud of this? No, I said. But I'm done being ashamed. She stumbled back. Ethan tried to hold her, but she shoved him away. You said no one would find out. He hissed. You said you deleted everything. Their voices tangled into chaos. People started filming. Phones glowed. Secrets multiplied in real time, Marcus whispered. You can leave now. I stared at them, the couple who once destroyed me, now unraveling in front of everyone they wanted to impress. I thought it'd feel good, I said quietly. But it doesn't. Revenge never does, he said. I exhaled. Then why does it feel necessary? Because you needed to end it your way. We turned to leave, but Lena's scream followed us. You'll regret this. I looked back. I already regret ever knowing you. That's enough for one lifetime. Ethan's voice broke. Maya, wait. No, I said. You had your say years ago. This is mine. He took a step forward. Please, can we talk? Talk? I repeated. We did that once. You lied between every word. Marcus touched my shoulder. Come on. As we walked out, whispers erupted behind me, harsh, sharp, endless. The music tried to start again but died halfway through. Outside, the air was cold. The noise from inside felt distant, almost unreal. Marcus said, You didn't destroy them. I nodded slowly. I know. They destroyed themselves. I just showed them the mirror. We stood under the parking lot lights. My hands trembled, but my heart was steady. Marcus asked, You okay? No, I said. But I'm free. For the first time, the night didn't feel heavy. It felt like truth, raw, ugly, and finally mine. The news hit faster than I expected. By morning, the video was everywhere. Headlines, comments, whispers. Homewrecker bride exposed. Ethan and Lena's perfect love story was a lie, Marcus called first. You seeing this? I'm trying not to. They're done, Maya. Completely done. I didn't want destruction, I said quietly. I wanted truth, he sighed. Sometimes they're the same thing. After the call, I scrolled for hours. People I didn't know messaged me. Strangers calling me brave, iconic, the girl who took karma into her own hands. I felt nothing. No joy, no victory. Just the echo of their laughter in my head. That night, I sat outside the cafe, staring at the ocean. The tide came in steady, relentless. Adrian appeared, hands in his jacket pockets. "So," he said, "you finally did it." I didn't turn. Word travels fast here. Half the internet saw it. The other half will by morning. "Great," I said flatly. "Maybe they'll sell t-shirts." He sat beside me. "You don't look happy." "I'm not. You expected to be?" "I expected something." "Relief, maybe." "And?" "Nothing," I said. "Just emptiness. Like the sound after an explosion." He studied me for a while. "Revenge does that. It burns loud, then leaves ash. I thought it'd heal me." "It healed your pride," he said softly. "Not your peace." I let out a shaky laugh. "Peace is overrated." "No," he said. "It's just harder than anger." The moon hung low, silver on the water. I whispered, "Everyone keeps congratulating me." But all I did was press play. Pressing play took guts. Maybe. But what does that make me now? A survivor or a monster? He smiled faintly. Neither. Just someone tired of pretending to be fine. I looked at him. "You ever regret not getting revenge?" "Every day," he admitted. "But I regret what revenge would have turned me into even more." I nodded. "I think I get that now." We sat in silence for a while. The wind carried salt and noise from the city. Adrian broke it. "Lena lost her job, you know. The company dropped her after the video." "I heard," I said. "And Ethan?" His family cut him off. "Apparently scandal doesn't fit their brand." Adrian glanced at me. "That sound like justice to you?" I hesitated. "It sounds like karma. But it doesn't feel like peace." He leaned back on the bench. "Because peace isn't about them." "Then what is it about?" "Letting go of the fire before it burns you too." I stared at the waves. "What if I can't?" "Then you'll drown with it," he said simply. I exhaled slowly. "I thought forgiveness meant letting them win." "No," he said. "Forgiveness means they stop living rent-free in your head." I laughed weakly. "They've been paying with nightmares." "Raise the rent," he said with a half-smile. The quiet between us stretched. I finally asked, "Do you think I went too far?" He thought for a moment. "No, I think they earned it. But sometimes justice costs more than guilt ever did." The word sat heavy in the air. I whispered, "I ruined their lives." He looked at me. "They ruined yours first. You just showed the world what that looked like." I still feel guilty. "That's what makes you human." The wind picked up, carrying the scent of salt and rain. I tilted my head back, staring at the stars. "I used to believe love fixed people," I said. "It doesn't," he replied. "It just reveals who they are. And what if I don't like who I became?" "Then change her," he said. For a while, neither of us spoke. I could hear the waves breaking and my heartbeat matching their rhythm. Then, without meaning to, I started crying. It wasn't the quiet kind. It was raw, messy, the kind that doesn't ask permission. Adrian didn't move closer, didn't try to stop me. He just sat there, breathing beside me, like he knew silence was safer than comfort. When the sobs slowed, I whispered, "I thought crying meant weakness." He said, "No, it means the war inside you is finally ending." I wiped my face with the back of my hand. "I don't want to be angry anymore." "Then stop feeding it," he said gently. "How?" "Start small, breathe, write. Forgive in pieces if you have to." His words lingered. "Forgive in pieces." I whispered. "Forgiveness doesn't mean accepting what they did." He shook his head. "It means releasing what they still hold." "I want that," I said. "I want release." "Then maybe you're closer than you think." The moonlight caught on the tears drying on my face. "You always sound like a therapist." "I'm worse," he said. "I'm someone who's been there." I smiled faintly. "Maybe that's why I trust you." "You should trust yourself more," he replied. We sat there until the streetlights blinked out, the world turning gray with dawn. The ocean kept whispering, as if repeating his words, "Release, release, release." When I finally stood, I felt lighter. Not healed, but hollow in a way that didn't ache. Adrian looked up. You heading home? Yeah, I think I'm ready to sleep without ghosts tonight. He smiled. That's a start. I turned to leave. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Unknown number. I opened it. A single text. We need to talk. Please. Lena, my throat tightened. Of course, I whispered. She'd find me just when I let go. Adrian called after me. Everything okay? I pocketed the phone. We'll see, he frowned. That look in your eyes again. Don't go back to the fire. I'm not, I said softly. But maybe I need to see what's left of the ashes. The ocean roared behind me as I walked away. For the first time, it didn't sound like a warning. It sounded like an answer. The message from Lena burned in my phone for 2 days before I answered. Please, just one conversation. I typed, deleted, retyped. Finally, tomorrow, noon, the park. When I arrived, the sky looked bruised, gray and tired. Like both of us, she was already there, sitting on a bench, clutching a coffee cup like it was keeping her alive. Maya, she said, voice small. You came. I shouldn't have. She looked thinner, her makeup smudged, her eyes hollow. For a second, I almost didn't recognize her. I didn't think you'd ever talk to me again, she whispered. You were right, I said. I almost didn't, she nodded, lips trembling. I deserve that. Silence stretched between us. Wind tugged at her hair. I crossed my arms to keep from shaking. Lena finally said, I've lost everything. I know. I'm not asking for pity. I need you to hear me. Then talk, I said. She took a breath that sounded like a sob. I was jealous. Of everything. Your kindness, your steadiness, the way people loved you without you trying. Ethan, he wanted that calm. I thought if I could take it, I'd finally be enough. I stared at her. So you stole my life to feel better about yours? Tears ran down her face. I didn't mean to hurt you. Yes, you did, I said quietly. You just didn't expect the guilt to last longer than the thrill. She flinched. You're right. I usually am, I said, though my voice cracked halfway through. Lena looked down. I can't sleep. I see your face every night. That's not my problem anymore. I know, but it's mine. And I'm sorry. Her words hung there, fragile and heavy all at once. I wanted to believe her. But the pieces of me she shattered still didn't fit right. I asked, Do you even know what you took from me? She wiped her eyes. Your trust. Your peace. And my best friend, I whispered. Her voice broke. I was supposed to protect you. Then why didn't you? Because I hated how good you were. I wanted to prove I could win too. I swallowed hard. And what did you win, Lena? She shook her head. Nothing. Not him, not happiness, not even myself. The honesty in her voice stung worse than her lies ever did. I looked at her, really looked, and saw the ruin she'd become. She whispered, Please say something. What do you want me to say? That I forgive you? Yes, she said, crying harder. Please. I can't move on unless you do. Her desperation twisted in my chest. Part of me wanted to comfort her. Another part wanted to walk away and never look back. I said, You don't get to ask that of me. I'm begging you. You begged for what you already destroyed. She covered her face with shaking hands. I've lost everything, Maya. I'm not even angry you exposed me. I'm angry it took that for me to see who I'd become. I exhaled slowly. That's the closest thing to truth I've ever heard from you. She lowered her hands. Do you hate me? No, I said. Hate takes too much energy. I'm done giving you mine. Then, you forgive me? I hesitated. The words felt sharp like glass. I forgive you, Lena, but that doesn't mean you're welcome back. Her face broke. And for the first time, she didn't look like my enemy. Just another lost soul standing in the wreckage she built. She whispered, I don't deserve it. You don't, I said. But forgiveness isn't about you. It's about me finally walking away without the weight. We sat in silence. The wind shifted, scattering leaves between us like pieces of an old friendship we could never glue back together. After a while, she said, Thank you for letting me speak. I stood. Goodbye, Lena. Will I ever see you again? No, I said. And that's the kindest thing I can do for both of us. I turned and walked toward the park's exit. Behind me, she didn't follow, just the sound of quiet sobbing fading into the wind. At the edge of the street, I stopped and looked up at the gray sky. For the first time, it didn't feel heavy. I whispered to myself, "Closure isn't revenge. It's release," and with that, I kept walking, lighter than I'd been in years. It's strange how peace feels louder than chaos. Months passed before I realized I hadn't checked my phone for their names in weeks. No more videos, no whispers, no ghosts. Just the steady hum of a new beginning. The cafe sign went up this morning. White letters on a deep green background, no more maybes. Adrian stood beside me, wiping sweat from his brow. "You sure about the name?" I smiled. "Completely," he laughed. "It's bold. It's honest," I said. "For the first time, I am too." Inside, the espresso machine hissed like a heartbeat. The air smelled like roasted hope and fresh paint. Adrian leaned against the counter. "So this is it. Your empire of caffeine and boundaries." "Something like that," I said. "A place for people who finally stopped apologizing." He raised an eyebrow. "And what about you?" "I stopped saying yes to things that hurt." "Sounds freeing." "It is," I said. "And terrifying," he smiled softly. "You always liked scary things." "Not anymore," I said. "I just like honest ones." A delivery guy entered, dropped off boxes, and left. I traced the counter's smooth wood with my fingertips. "Feels real now," Adrian said. "It is real. You built it." "With your help," I replied. "You did the hard part, surviving." His words lingered. I looked out the window at the street below, busy, alive, indifferent. Then my phone buzzed. An email notification. Subject line, wedding invitation. Marcus and Claire. Adrian noticed my face. "Everything okay?" "Yeah," I said. "Just another wedding I won't be attending." He chuckled. "You sure?" "You'd make an entrance." "I've made enough of those." I opened the message. Formal, polite, harmless, but still, the kind of thing that used to twist my chest. He asked, "You gonna reply?" "Already did." "What did you say?" I smiled faintly. "No," he grinned. "Short, powerful. 2 letters," I said. "Took me years to learn how to use them." Adrian folded his arms. "You ever think about them anymore?" "Lena, Ethan?" "Sometimes," I said. Not with hate, more like curiosity. "About what?" "If they ever learned what saying no feels like." He nodded. "You're not angry anymore." "I'm not," I said. "I think I just stopped bleeding." He looked around the cafe. "So what's next for the woman who says no?" I laughed. "Coffee? Maybe poetry nights. Definitely peace." He tilted his head. "Peace looks good on you." "It feels good too," I said. Like silence that finally makes sense. A group of customers peeked through the window, smiling. I waved them in. As they ordered, Adrian whispered, "You did it, Maya." I glanced at him. "What do you mean?" "You turned your pain into a door." And walked through it. I didn't answer and just smiled. Sometimes silence says everything. Later, after closing, I stood alone in the dim light, wiping down the counter. My reflection in the glass looked different. Not softer, just certain. My phone buzzed again. Another wedding invite. Another past life trying to pull me back. I didn't open it. "I didn't need to," I whispered. "They banned me once. Now I'm the one who says no." The words didn't sting. They settled. Strong. Final. Outside, the city lights flickered like applause. I locked the door, flipped the sign to closed, and let the night wrap around me. "They took my past," I said quietly, "but not my voice." I exhaled, smiling. "And this time," I whispered, "I mean it." The beach looked smaller than I remembered. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I'd just outgrown it. The air was cool, the tide low. I carried my journal under one arm, the same one that once held pain like a secret. Adrian's voice echoed in memory. "Let go before it drowns you." I smiled. I finally did. The water shimmered as I walked closer. Seagulls called overhead, careless, free. I envied that once. Not anymore. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I didn't check it. Whoever it was could wait. The old me would have answered. The new me valued silence more than explanations. I sat on the sand, opened my journal, and ran my fingers over the last page. The ink stains from months ago looked faint now, faded like the anger that once burned through me. I thought revenge would heal me, I said quietly. But peace was the one thing I was too scared to choose. The waves rolled in slow and even, as if they were listening. I used to talk to ghosts here, I whispered. Lena, Ethan, the girl I used to be? I laughed softly. They're quiet now. The breeze carried the scent of salt and something clean, like a new start. I wrote the final line in my journal. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's how I stopped being their victim. Reading it out loud felt like closing a door. I tore the page out gently, folded it once, and let it rest on the sand. The wind caught it almost instantly, dragging it toward the water. Adrian had once said, "Peace isn't about forgetting. It's remembering without bleeding." He was right. I watched the paper dissolve in the surf, the ink blurring until it vanished. For the first time, I didn't reach to save it. Some things are meant to disappear. A child's laughter echoed down the beach, bright, distant. Life had moved on, and so had I. I stood, brushed the sand from my jeans, and looked at the line of my footprints stretching behind me. Each one felt lighter than the last. The tide crept closer, curling over my toes, erasing the marks I'd made. Go ahead, I whispered to the waves. Take what's left. Foam swept across the sand, smoothing everything flat. No footprints, no past, just an untouched shore. I exhaled. That's better. The wind tangled through my hair, playful this time, not cruel. I turned toward the horizon, the sun breaking through clouds like an answer. Goodbye, I said. To them, to the girl I used to be, to the silence that once hurt. Only the ocean replied, steady and endless, and somehow I knew it was enough.